So I've been on the road for 8 days in 2 cities now, and I've seen a pair of Tiger Cat losses. One of the blowout variety, where the Ticats were not really competitive at any stage of the game other than the opening kickoff, and a second loss last night in Edmonton that saw them lose in probably one of the most demoralizing ways possible, blowing a 10-point fourth quarter lead and failing to get the ball into the end zone on the last play of the game. Of the 2 losses, I think the second one was actually most demoralizing for players. Being in the locker room after that game, it was dead silent. A lot of guys just sitting in their locker, still dressed, 15, 20 minutes after the game. I think when you're that close to winning, put all that effort in, and don't get it done, that's in some respects more difficult to take than never being competitive at all, which you just sort of move past quickly and say, well, that just, we just need to move past that and get on to the next thing. So there were some positives to take from this game, however. The team certainly rallied behind quarterbacks Dan Lefevre and Jeremiah Mazzoli, who took over after Zach Collaros was injured in the second quarter. I thought the offensive line played better, still not spectacular, but better. C.J. Gable was more involved. That was good. The defense, I thought, played well, generated some turnovers, got some pressure, and gave their team an opportunity to win the game. So all that is definitely positive. On the downside, obviously we don't know the status of Zach Collaros. Head coach Ken Austin said after the game that it didn't look good, and because, of course, that it's a head injury or a potential head injury, the recovery time for those is, it's unknown because it's really based on, it's different from player to player. Look, this is the third player Ticats have lost on a helmet-to-helmet hit without a flag being thrown on any of those plays. I think the league needs to provide in-game deterrence for players from making helmet-to-helmet contact. And until they do that, it's going to be hard to change the behavior of players. And they've done it in the past, right? I mean, when you change the rules in pass interference or you change the rules to protect quarterbacks, that influences player behavior. And I think that the league is going to have to look at very seriously doing the same thing for helmet-to-helmet hits if they really want to change the culture of how the game is played. So anyway, Ticats now on a bye week, and the discussion on the bye week will be about the football team to a certain extent, and then, of course, about the stadium, all kinds of doubts about whether it'll be ready for July 26th. And that is another distraction I think this team absolutely doesn't need, but is going to deal with, right? If the stadium can't be ready for the 26th of July, then, there'll be all kinds of discussion around what comes next, and none of that's going to be good. And it's going to create more, drama around a team that really doesn't need it. So anyway, lots of challenges. It's been a good road trip in some respects. Saw some interesting things, ate some interesting food, but overall, I'm certainly ready to be home, and I'm sure the Ticats are too. So, reporting from Edmonton on his way home for the Hamilton Spectator, I'm Drew Edwards.